countdown. I hope people join. Set up my iPad.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now.
Listen now.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the
Where's my
trading
phone?
bell.
There it
My
is.
heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my
Now live.
hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.
Hello. Hello,
Tune in
Apple.
daily, don't miss a single
hello,
show.
iPad.
Sign up for the newsletter,
How are
let
you?
us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a
There's
single
nobody
show.
here,
Sign
so
up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks,
we're
making
going
moves, seeking
to
success. Together we'll
turn on
conquer,
Do
no
Not
room for
Disturb.
any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.
let's just make sure we're on the right
Tune in
network.
daily, don't miss a single show.
I
Sign up
expect
for the
nobody to show
newsletter,
up.
let
I've been
us help
gone
you
for a
grow.
month.
Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now.
Wi-Fi. Okay, I'm on the right Wi-Fi.
Every morning I wake up to the sound
Over here.
of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading
Morning, Cam.
podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up
Go
for the
scene. Why not? I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. We'll go over here. I still have to open up, let's see, all of the open with Google Chrome. Perfect. Open with Google Chrome. Perfect. I love my Mac Mini. Open with Google Chrome. Open with Google Chrome. Open with Google Chrome. Boom. Morning, Camilo. Open with Google Chrome. Open with Google Chrome. I still can't get stuff up on my iPad, but that's because it was dead and now it's charging. Open with Google Chrome. Open with Google Chrome. Silver. Anybody see silver? In the past like 10 minutes it's changing. Open with Google Chrome. Open with Google Chrome. The silver price is just, I mean, it's let's see, we got to pause probably on this. No, that's just a stock index futures mixed. Follow Seeking Alpha on Google for latest stock news. Huh. They're adding all kinds of stuff on Google Finance, I think, is doing some really interesting thing. The Austin on his podcast had the Google VP of Finance or something on there. It was a good episode. I mean, just what can you do? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now we got all that stuff. Do I want to do this? I mean, do we care about Warren Buffett's portfolio, kind of the scanner here? I don't think so. I think we'll stick to what I got. I was trying to find a scanner that would work a little bit better. Let's renew that. Let's renew that. Yeah. So let's see. There we go. Turn down the volume. Oh, it gave me an ad. Skip. Okay. Hit the thumbs up button. How am I feeling 2026 is going to play out? Funny you mentioned that. If you go to the newsletter, my big 8 predictions, I did super well in 2020. 2025, what did I have? It was predictions. So I did S&P up 10% or more. Yes. I mean, even though we're not done with the year, I'd point to that as a yes. TQQQ ends the year higher, 37% up, yes. XLF and XLK outperform. XLF did not beat SPY, but XLK blew it away, so it's a mix. I called it a win. Mag 7 outperform, absolutely. Tesla hit $600 a share. It didn't, but damn. I mean, if that's not a win after what we saw in the first part of 2020, and we'll just take it 2020, let's see. If that's not a win with what you saw in January here, I thought it was going to hit 600. It hit 500. Well, it didn't hit 500. Let's see. 495. So 498 last week. So I'd call that. I may not call it a loss, but Alpha Pix beats other portfolios. Yes, up 43% year to date. The 2025 Seeking Alpha stocks outperformed. Yes. They were up like 50%. So yes. So what do I think of 2026? It's included in the below part. T. Jassy. Funny you mentioned that. But let's bring up QQQ. Okay. I am here for anybody. And by the way, for everybody sending me hate mail for the last month that I'm not live. Now I'm live and there's like 8 people here. And probably 7 are bots. But I'm here. I'm probably going to get interrupted a couple of times. But honestly, I mean, my investing decisions are sculpted by what I think will happen, and right now it doesn't look good. I mean, there's a lot of red in this market right now. And I don't know what's taking it down. Is it silver that's taking it down? Let's see. Do they have any breaking news headlines? Box office boost. Iron ore set for best close since November. Riding broader waves of metal. I think that's good for Cleveland Cliffs. Cleveland Cliffs over 1 month is up 9%. 5 days up 1%. 6 months up 85%. Cleveland Cliffs is. Wow. So, nobody here. Morning, Alex. I mean, there's bots. I think we're used to like, and I probably have to bring this down a little bit. I think we're used to about 15, 20 people in here. So it's not like it's, I think there were like what was it? October was a super, positive month for this podcast, but I got everything open. Let me get started on recording this because I am going to the Falcons versus Rams game tonight, and I just got back, so I still have a lot of cleanup and stuff to do, but let's start recording. Good morning. It is Monday, December 29th. For everybody bitching that I'm not live, I'm back in Atlanta and I'm live, and there's like 4 people here. So they get the benefit of the genius. We're going to go over a lot. My 2026 predictions, my 2026 beat the S&P portfolio, the 2026 schedule, what will happen in 2026, set up the week before 2026, which is this week, because right now things don't look great. Let's talk about silver. Let's talk about all of that stuff. What about stocks? We'll look over certain stocks. What's the top? Mark Mahaney put out his top stock. It's a Mag 7 stock. We will look at that. And strong buys entering this week. This week, I think I put it as this week. But strong buys in the quant that actually report earnings. There's one that you're going to want to see. It's up like 140% over like this year or something. It's a crazy, crazy stock. But let's go over 2026 stuff, because right now the market doesn't look good. But the reality, that green line right there, okay, that's what's called a trend line. And will we get back down to that trend line? You've got a lot of resistance between this line, the candle up here, and this line down here. And I put 633 up there. Why? Because you've got kind of a double top there. Why did I put this yellow line 585? Because that's support. Where is QQQ trading right now? 619. So you've got to do these types of things on your chart to understand where you are. That green line is a trend line that is anchored at COVID lows. Okay, at the COVID lows right there. Passes through at least 3 lines. Again, the more touches, the more validity. Do we get back down to that? Because we are trading at the upper end of the Bollinger Bands. The MACD is up 21 points above the oscillator. What happened last time it was this high? Well, it was July of 2023. We went from 380 down to 350, which is quite a big move. Could we see that? Well, 2026 may be a volatile year. Again, what happens this week? People probably don't show up to sell until the first of the year. But what I did was, I put together my 8 big market bets. I did so well in 2025. Can I do it again? I put in the 8 predictions that I made at the beginning of 2025. It was December 2024. And I said these 8 things is what I predict in the market. The first, Bitcoin hits 150. It got to 126. So I missed. That's a miss. S&P will be up more than 10%. That was in December 2024. Is it? Yes, it's up 13%. Will it make it through today without losing 13%? Maybe. TQQQ ends the year higher. Yes, up 37%. XLK and XLF outperform. Both. XLF didn't outperform, but you know what? XLK did, so it's a mix. Mag 7 outperformed. If you look at MAGS, yes, it was up 24% last year. Tesla hit $600 a share. This was a no, but you know what? Where we started out the year on Tesla, this looked really bad as a prediction. It got a hell of a lot closer than I think. I think in the new year, we hit $600 a share. 7, Alpha Pix. If you don't know what Alpha Pix is, it is a data-driven portfolio, okay? The S&P is up the S&P during the time of the Alpha Pix is up 82%. Alpha Pix is up 276%. I'll get a better picture of this. But again, you get $50 off. And yes, I made the prediction. It was up 43% just in 2025. You can get Alpha Pix by going to Linktree. Everything is on Linktree, by the way, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. It is down below in the video. You can see it right on the screen. And then the number 8 prediction is that the top 2025 stocks would outperform. And yes, they did. And guess what? You can get the top 2025 picks January 6th, 12 p.m. Eastern. Steve Kress is holding his event January 6th. You get a free 7-day trial. So my suggestion, if you don't have Seeking Alpha Premium, okay, between now and January 6th, go to my Linktree. Sign up for a free 7-day trial. You get a free 7-day trial, and you can get the 2026 top stocks because they have outperformed in 2023, 2024, and now 2025. It's not guaranteed, but go and pick your favorites. And if you don't want Seeking Alpha Premium, then go and use your own tools. Again, the tools are out there for you to use. So in 2026, what will happen? I stuck with a lot of the predictions, but I made some new ones. And I used AI. I used Trendspider Sidekick. I used Perplexity Pro. I used Seeking Alpha AI. I did a lot. And what did I do? I put together a new 2026 portfolio with the S&P. In fact, the AI built its own portfolio. So I'm going to put both into Savvy Trader, and I'm going to do it. All of this, by the way, is at the newsletter. So if you want the newsletter, again, the newsletter here, 2026, my 8 big market predictions, and then the Beat the S&P portfolio right there down under the paid section. So again, I put that together. Now, I do also want to talk to you about my 2026 schedule because this live's going to change and 2026 changes. In 2024, in 2024, I worked 6 days a week. 2025, I went down to 5 days a week. A lot of it was 6 days a week. But now in 2026, I'm going to go down to 4 days a week. But I want to make sure that everybody's taken care of. Whether you're a paid member, again, if you are a paid member, I thank you. The paid members support this podcast. So I'm going to do more for you in the new year. So Monday, today is Monday, normal podcast live on YouTube at 8:30 a.m. every Monday. I'm usually done by 9:30. I'll edit between 10 and 12. That's my day. And again, you may think, oh, he's only working like 3 hours a week. Now, there's like 6 to 8 hours of producing this freaking show. So then Tuesday, I'll do a paid subscriber podcast. It will be in the paid section. It will be focused more on education and specific stocks, but I will also do an office hour, usually about an hour, maybe a half hour, but that will start about 8:30 or so, maybe 9 o'clock to 9:30. I'm going to play with some times just so people can make it. And then Wednesday, normal podcast live on YouTube. So Monday and Wednesday, the free folks, you get a free episode. No problem. I'll be live on YouTube. Same schedule as I do Monday. Then on Thursday, I'm taking off. I'm just taking off. Thursdays are great. Friday, optional podcast on YouTube if I feel like it. And then paid subscribers, you get a podcast on the Substack with an office hour, probably about 9 a.m. or so. So again, free subscribers live on YouTube at least twice per week, and the podcast on Spotfiy on all the platforms you want. Free newsletter coverage, not 5 days a week anymore, but it will continue to provide the top-notch information that you got in 2024, 2025. It will just be a few less times a week. I will continue to develop tools in Trendspider and Seeking Alpha to help everybody who signs up, whether you're a paid member or not a paid member. I will continue to provide those tools for you. Anything I develop develop in the tool will be made available to anybody who subscribes, not just paid subscribers. So if you subscribe to Trendspider, who, by the way, is still having their holiday sale, you can go on here, right here, just go up to products and go to the plans and pricing, and you can look at it. They're still having their 65% off sale. It goes down to 64 tomorrow and 63, but you can still get the 52 trainings per year. So if you got some Christmas bonus money, throw it into Trendspider, make the money back, try and make money in 2026. Everybody wants to know what 2026 holds. Well, I put it in my newsletter. Maybe pay a little bit for me, support me a little bit, do whatever you want. But paid subscribers, what do you get? You get chat and email priority. I chat with paid members all the time, and it's not just one line. I mean, I put a lot of thought process into replying to you. You get access to Savvy Trader, all my portfolios, all the history since I started tracking there, paid newsletters, including at least one educational per week. I'm going to do at least one education email per week. The full course work will be better coordinated in 2026. Live sections for paying subscribers only with 2 office hours per week. It'll probably be 30 minutes because I don't think that many people can show up at like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. I'll play with some times if you're a paid member of the newsletter. Just go up into this chat section and you can suggest a time that might work for you for office hours. No, I'll put it in there. I will work with everybody. I have hundreds of paid members, but again, I will work with everybody to try and make sure that office hours works. So let's look at 2026 because there's a couple of things that will happen in 2026. Okay. One of them will be a SpaceX IPO. If you know me, I'm not a huge fan of Elon Musk's politics, but I am a super fan of Elon Musk. The man is just a genius, and he will have a SpaceX IPO. Whatever bank wins this one will make billions of dollars. Okay. Morgan Stanley looks to be the favorite. Remember, Elon is very kind of, he is loyal, shall we say? And Morgan Stanley backed him when Tesla was going on. So I think JP Morgan had said when Twitter was he was buying Twitter, they'd said, hey, we're going to step away from this. And Morgan Stanley was there for him. So Morgan Stanley looks like it's going to be the favorite. If that's the case, this is a buy the dip situation. And how do you enter? Well, maybe it's the 4-hour algorithm, because when you look down here at the bottom of this Trendspider chart, the 4-hour algorithm wins 47% of the time. Over 24 months, there are 19 positions. It wins 47%. The average win is 11%, but total, that's what you want to look at. When it tells you when to get in and when to get out, over that time, it is up 101.9%. When you backtest it for the last 2 years, 24.6 months. If you just bought and held, you're up 98%. It's about the same. But in 2026, if we're expecting volatility, don't you want to know when to get in and when to get out? That's part of what the 4-hour algorithm brings you. So again, 2026 could see a SpaceX IPO. Maybe you want to trade Tesla. Maybe you just want to trade Morgan Stanley. Whatever you want to do, it's in the 4-hour algorithm. Now, also, 2026 could see an explosion of risk assets. This is a long thread right here. Let me just summarize it. The U.S. debt is exploding. But if you re-rate gold, then the U.S. debt doesn't look that bad. That's the summary of this one. So again, if that's the case, and Steve Grasso puts it well, explained extremely well, if that's the case, risk assets like your Bitcoin, like your, gold isn't risk asset, but again, risk assets will explode. That what we've done in 2024, 2025, so far up like 23% each year. Again, risk assets could be very good. Now the Catalyst Watch. This is my favorite Seeking Alpha email. The defense stock's in play because Trump is saying, hey, we're going to limit contractor pay, FOMC minutes, and the opening 2026 trades. Because you get Friday is the first day of 2026. Expect volatility. Expect selling. Why? Because the reality of 2024, 2025, and 2026 being up 20-something %, people are dying to sell to take gains, but they want to delay that capital gain until 2027. Because remember, you'll pay your 2026 taxes in 2027. So make sure you understand, Friday, I expect to see a lot of volatility. Will it absolutely sell? I don't know. But that's what this sets up. And that was my biggest learning from the Catalyst Watch this week. We will get Fed minutes. We will get the Nevada Gaming Commission board expected to release the gaming win report. You'll get a volatility watch. Energy, fuels, and applied digital are set up for a volatile week of trading based on options volume. So again, I like that particular one. And let's look at the stock index futures waiver to start another shortened week. Here's the thing. I mean, again, it's a shortened week. This is what Santa Claus rally is all about. But does it feel like a Santa Claus rally? No, it feels very sketchy. And again, you have the first day of the year on Friday. Just saying. And we talked about the debt. Here's a caller into the Dave Ramsey show. It was Congress. And it says, so you're spending $7 trillion when you only have $5 trillion in revenue? Congress says, yes, Dave, we are. And you have $38 trillion in debt and you are spending 25% of your revenue on interest payment? Congress says, yes, Dave, that's correct. That's the U.S. debt explained. If you ever listen to the Dave Ramsey show, and Dave Ramsey, I like him. I just think sometimes it's a little bit, that posture is what he's like. So, again, I'm not bad-mouthing Dave Ramsey. His education stuff is fantastic, but realize he's there to make money. And so, he does a lot of good with his money. But this is the U.S. debt explained, and he would be the first one to tell you the U.S. is in trouble. So he invests in real estate. I don't invest in real estate. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about silver and gold. Silver and gold. Silver is going nuts. Okay. This is AG1 and we can just look at SLV. Okay. SLV is the, silver. What, hold on. Let me look at my notes real quick. I think it's, silver. Yeah. SLV, Silver Trust. Let's see. Why doesn't this have it? Oh, I guess Trendspider doesn't have it, but it's the iShares Silver Trust. This one, over 1 month, up 50%. In pre-market, it's down 7%. So what's happening is China will be imposing export restrictions on silver beginning in 5 days on January 1st. These restrictions will require special government license for silver exports. Shanghai silver prices are now up $85 an ounce, a $5 premium to spot prices in the U.S. There's a lot going on with silver, okay? It is skyrocketing, absolutely skyrocketing. Silver prices easing back. This is this morning. They're easing back after breakneck December gains. Okay, that's the pre-market. That's the pre-market down 7%. And you're seeing a lot of this breakdown. Shanaka, I just watched 4 billion in silver longs get vaporized. 83.75 to 75.15. Fastest wipeout I've seen. Fastest wipe. CNBC is running the bubble charts narrative. Bloomberg too. They won't scare you. They want you out, but nobody's talking about what happened in Shanghai during the exact same window. While American traders panic dumped at 75, Chinese buyers were paying 90 for the same metal. The premium didn't shrink during the crash. It widened. Let that sink in. This wasn't a top. This was a heist. So again, you want to look at silver. It's up 50% in just 1 month. Is it a good one? Well, Seeking Alpha, what's the best silver play right now in the market? And Eliana says PAAS. PAAS. Let's put that one in. This is Pan America Silver. Let's look at the 5-minute chart and turn on the after hours for this, because you're seeing, is this a buy the dip? Maybe. The 4-hour algorithm makes you about half of what buying and holding does. Over the last 24 months, this particular stock has made you 254%. It wins 50% of the time. The average win, 14%. So PAAS, it had you here November 7th at $34. We're at $54 right now. 54. Maybe this is a buy the dip situation where you wait for the next entry on the 4-hour algorithm. You can go over here and look at PAAS, and we can see it is a strong buy in the quant. Wall Street thinks that it's worth $50. You're trading at $52 right now. Now, in the material sector, this is only number 8. What's number 1? New Gold. That's a 4.9 out of 5. So again, do your research, understand what you're looking at. But there's another one. On the ETF side, they like SIL. It provides broad exposure to silver miners. Andrew Heck, gold rose above 1980 high in 2008, while it took silver another 17 years. He likes SLV. So again, understand what you're buying. SLV is a strong buy in the quant. It's Seeking Alpha analysts say hold it. I'm not a metals guy, but you know what? What's the best gold play? Because gold is going up right along with silver. And the price of gold hit a record high last week amid geopolitical tensions. So again, what's the best gold play? Go and do your research. We can go and look at Barrick Mining. Barrick Gold, strong buy on the quant. It's down 4% in pre-market. Is this a buy the dip situation, or was it a bubble? That's the question you have to go about just in short term with these metals and long term next year. So let's talk about stocks. IREN is a top performing application. So I've been talking about this one forever. Information Technology Index was the second best performing sector in 2025. While its accompanying State Street sector, XLK, is up 26%. The list is topped. Okay, as we look at the subsequent IT sector, below is a list of 10 application software stocks ranked by year-to-date performance. The list includes each stock. The list is topped by IREN, up 327%. 327%. Notably, of these top 10 stocks, the only one with a strong buy in the quant is Digital 8, HUT 8. HUT. Wall Street says that it's worth $63. It is down at $48. Is this one that you like? We can go and look at HUT and the 4-hour algorithm. Where did the 4-hour algorithm have you in? 44.30. It's at 49.60. The 4-hour algorithm doesn't make you as much as buy and hold, but again, with a volatile stock, do you want to sit there and buy and hold this one, or do you want to find ways to get in and out? That's your choice. But I've talked about IREN for quite a while, and that's the top performing stock in this list. Go and research the rest of them. They are good. Now, I've also talked about Nebius. It's the best performing system software stock year to date. And here's another list for you to look at, okay? The list is topped by Nebius with a year-to-date performance of 228. JFrog comes in second. This is an interesting list as well because Nebius has a buy, 4.46. That's not bad. Wall Street thinks that it's worth $151. That is 72% upside. It's trading at $87. And Steve Kress, Nebius and NVIDIA lead the best AI stocks to hold. He's picking that one as a winner. And maybe you want to use the 4-hour algorithm. Again, find a pattern that works for you. Because the 4-hour algorithm makes you 229% versus 519%. But the 4-hour algorithm wins 55% of the time with an average win of 35%. It just got you in at 92. It's down at 87. Would I have bought this one at 92? Yes. I am looking to build a position, and I have bought some at 100. I bought some at 110. I bought some at like, I think 80 something. So I've been adding to this one. I haven't been using the 4-hour algorithm. I've been adding to it to build my position. But understand, you are still buying this one at an extended MACD. But it's right in the middle of the Bollinger Bands as they start to pinch up. So is 2026 going to be a good one? Well, Nebius isn't dead. Now, if you're worried about which top stocks, okay, Steve's best top stocks. This is the power of quantitative analysis. What investors are saying. Here's the event. Again, January 6th, 12 p.m. If you want, you can go over to my link tree. You get a free 7-day trial when you click on this link. 7-day trial. Join this event January 6th at 12 p.m. It's a good one. Maybe I'll open up Substack and we can kind of chat about while the actual event's going on. But Peter Lynch's favorite metric and Steve Kress's favorite metric is the PEG ratio. And here Shai outlines it perfectly. The PEG ratio under 1 usually means mispriced growth. PEG ratio above 2 starts to push it into danger zone. Popular names right now, Palantir 4.6, Tesla 4.6. Are they stretched? Could they go higher? Maybe. The lower end, AMD, PayPal, Nvidia, Oracle, HIMS, Broadcom, Adobe, Taiwan Semi, Salesforce, Meta, SoFi. Again, under that 2 is where Peter Lynch said he liked to live. And if you don't know about Peter Lynch, go and ask Perplexity who Peter Lynch is. And I also want to point out the infrastructure behind the Google empire. This was such a good graphic, such a great graphic. And Shai gives you the AI chips, the AI networking, the AI utility, the AI memory, the AI optics, and the AI power. He goes over everything. Go and do your research on this one. This, I would argue, has the most investable architecture in the business. It's a great list. And again, if you just look at Google for the year, if you began the year saying, well, ChatGPT is going to blow away Google. Well, year to date, Google is up 65%. The past 6 months, up 80%. Nobody's eating Google's lunch. And so this infrastructure, even Meta is buying Google Tensor chips, the TPUs. So again, Google, maybe they're overvalued. Maybe they are. But Wall Street says that it's worth $328. That's a 4% upside. Do you want to invest at 311 thinking, well, it's got a 4% upside? Well, in the communication services, from the quant perspective, they are ranked number 9 and 10. There are quite a few higher than them. Is this one that you want to buy? Remember, the quant outperforms the market in most senses. So do your research on these stocks. Now, I want to talk about Amazon, another top 5 holding in my personal portfolio. And analyst Mark Mahaney from Evercore, he picked Amazon as his top pick for 2026. Is Amazon a great pick for 2026? We will sit back and wait to see. Year to date, this is up 5%. Okay? Wall Street says that it's worth $295. We just talked about Google having a 4 or 5% upside to its Wall Street price target. This has a 27% upside to its Wall Street price target. And again, there are 67 analysts that rank this, and most of them have it as a strong buy. Now, the quant says hold. So let's look at the valuation from 6 months ago. It's down. The growth, it's the same. The profitability, it's the same. The momentum, it's the same. The revisions, it's better. So Wall Street is betting on this name. Are you? Because look at the charting of this against the S&P. And let's just go back 3 years. Amazon is beating the S&P over 3 years. But 1 year, you are severely underperforming. We've talked about the Mag 7. Okay, the Mag 7, when you go and you look at the Mag 7, and this is really the Mag 8, But if you go to look at the year-to-date performance, we've talked about the Mag 7s that are down at the bottom that tend to rebound. Remember, it was just like a few months ago, Apple was down at the bottom. Year-to-date now, Apple's up 9%. That was a buy the dip 6 months ago. 36% in what I call the safest one. But in that Mark Mahaney, let's see, let's go back here. In this one, I want to point out, he points out his team pointed to AWS momentum after the business showed 20% year-over-year growth in Q3, which was the fastest in 11 quarters and handily outpaced Microsoft's Azure growth rate for the first time since Q3 of 2022. The AI narrative has flipped positive for AWS. Other potential catalysts seen for Amazon in 2020, the grocery business, Trainium chips, Amazon Leo, Amazon Pharmacy, ramping up Alexa Plus engagement, Zoox. You always hear about Waymo. Remember, Amazon has its self-driving in Zoox and the all but forgotten Amazon for Business segment. So again, Amazon, it is in my top 5 portfolio, top 5 positions, but it has not done well over 1 year and year to date. I would have been better off holding VOO or QQQ. Just kind of personal opinion there. Now, I told you for free and for paid subscribers, I will continue to provide you very good tools in the tools that I use. So Seeking Alpha is one of the tools that I use. I built this screener to look for strong buys that are reporting earnings. We've talked about how alpha picks, when you get an alpha picks, and just bonus, when you get alpha picks, an alpha pick that's a strong buy, because not all alpha picks are strong buy. They are strong buys when they are bought, but they are not strong buys ongoing. But this particular screener, strong buys that report earnings, and I changed the date from December 20th to January 10th. Applied Digital is reporting earnings. It's a strong buy. Year to date, this is up 214%. Wall Street says that it's worth $43. That's an 81% upside. In the internet sector and infrastructure, this is number 1 from a quant rating. It's a 4.91. Let's look at it from 6 months ago. Valuation, it's gotten better. Still not great. Growth, it's an A+ versus a C- 6 months ago. Profitability, D versus F. Momentum, A+ versus A. Revisions, they are getting better revisions. And if you want to analyze it with AI and you want to know what are the good things, what are the bad things, competitors and unique proposition, then you go and look at those particular valuation, challenging with metrics like EV sales at 50 and EV EBITDA at 1479. Applied Digital demonstrates exceptional growth and forward revenue growth projected at 49. We can go and look at the PEG ratio after this, since we talked about that one. But here are the concerns raised. Applied Digital's high valuation and reliance on debt financing pose risks. Maybe it's a risk. The company's customer concentration with significant reliance on a few hyperscalers. But again, we saw that with Micron just like last week or a couple of weeks ago. Is this one going to have good earnings? Well, we can look at the earnings, the upcoming earnings. Announced date 1/7. So you've got a couple of weeks to go in here. Earnings per share normalized estimates, they're expected to lose 22 cents. They're expected to, the GAAP earnings, -11. Revenue, actually up significantly from 64.22 to 82.22. You can see there are earnings per share revisions. The last 90 days up 6 versus down 1. And if we go and look at the valuation right here, we go and look at the PEG ratio. They don't have a PEG because they don't have a PE. So they're not making money. That's going to be the issue. But the growth, fantastic. 28% when the sector's doing 9. So is this one a good one? Full disclosure, I don't own this one. I haven't wanted to own it. I have looked at it in the 4-hour algorithm, and I've said, ooh, it makes a lot of money in the 4-hour algorithm recently. But over the past 2 years, it just doesn't. It has been better to buy and hold this one. The average win is 40%. But realize you only win 37% of the time. It has you out right now. But would you buy in along that 200 day? Look at that 200 day. It has provided support. And when we look at the weekly on this one, it's still a little bit stretched. I would say if you're buying at 24, understand your top side is 32, because we've seen every time it's gotten to that 30, and this goes all the way back to 2021, and you've seen it double top until it can turn that 30 into support instead of resistance. It is resistance. So if you have any questions, again, everything's on Linktree, even my email address. I wish you a happy, I will probably take off tomorrow. I'll probably start my office hour stuff. So if you are a paid member, I appreciate you. I am glad that you guys listened through 2025. Looking forward to 2026. Have a great day. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Larry. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Now I will put this into, God, it's going to be so much easier to edit this than on my laptop. Oh, God. Oh, I'm back to normal. So nice. Who subscribes, not just paid subscribers. So if you subscribe to Trendspider, who, by the way, is still having their holiday sale, you can go on here, right here. This is a 35-minute podcast. Okay, let's see. What was there? We're going to use this as the as the title. And then we're going to, I've got to put this in. One. Good morning. Good morning. It is Monday. Oh, we're going to do green screen. Copy. Wah, wah. Oh. Okay, one screen. There we go. And export file. Next. Copy. Paste. Oh, come on. Save. Morning, Larry. China's closing price of $83 spot price for silver. I'm not investing in silver. I don't plan on investing in silver, but I think it's an interesting thing. Dub. W-dub. Double up. Double up. I do think it's interesting, though. We're back to kind of normal numbers now, watching live. Apple Watch battery is fully charged. Yay. So now I've got to go and do let's see. Can you okay, you know what? I'm just going to go to Canva. Let's just go to Canva and do a welcome back. Is this me? I think it's going to be me. Continue. Your designs. Yes. Okay. Sweet. Templates, YouTube thumbnail, and 2026 market Crossroads. Let's see. I like this one. We'll just put in, let's say uploads. Let's get this guy. Edit. And we'll do magic grab. And we'll take that. And we'll say grab. Wah, wah, wah. And then we will remove that. And we'll say 2026 market Crossroads. And group that together. No. Maybe I just leave it like that. Maybe I put in do let's just let's see, there's effects, background, there we go. And then I'll put in Trendspider and stuff like that. Let's see. Let's put in Seeking Alpha. Put this. Down there. And Trendspider. Put that up there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And the episode is done. So we'll just do this. Download. And then we can upload this. Select file. Desktop. And we're going to put that in. Boy, I'm getting a lot of ads on the live, on YouTube Live. It's kind of crazy. MPLX is, I mean, it is such a good stock. It is such a good stock. Look at that run from 48. I mean, that's a 10% run with a 7%. I mean, it's 7% annualized dividend payout in the middle of that run. Look at that run with a 10%. It is so good. So good. I mean, it's just my entire portfolio should be MPLX. So, Larry, I'm not tooting my own horn, but that one has just continued to outperform. And it's crazy. I mean, it's just, it is what it is, but okay, let's do this one. Copy. And let's just paste this one. Episode Let's see, downloads. Oh, I've got a whole bunch of stuff I've got to get out of there. Whoa. Okay, and where is my, there we go. Oh, let's just do this. Copy. Whoa. Okay. And promotional content, we've got to do that. I have not gotten IHOP. When was the last time I had? I think the last time I had IHOP was my my birthday. Because to be perfectly honest, I mean, I love, when I'm on the road, I love IHOP. And in New Jersey, there is a charger, a supercharger right next to an IHOP. And my God, I always want to make sure to stop at that one. I never do. Okay. Let's go over here and preview ready. Next. Oh. Why is the waveform editor not available? Okay, 35 minutes. Hopefully that becomes available. But MPLX, I mean, just look at, it's not even extended on the MACD. I mean, I think that 51 is probably a new support level. Market's open. Let's see. Market's open. I'm probably way down. I don't know what the S&P and stuff did, but let's see. Oh, I'm not down much. Wow. The Alpha Pix portfolio is down 0.7%. Okay. Hi, I'm Sarah Mitchell. My boss is leading an initiative. I think, can we connect for a few minutes? No. Block contact. Report spam. When somebody gets my phone number and says, hi, I'm this, and I don't know you, what the hell? Why am I going to, You're not leaving now, are you? No. I don't think she knows that I was asking her a question. Let's go over here and dashboard. Create new video episode. Select file. We gotta go and do YouTube now. Okay, Trendspider. Copy. One. Seeking Alpha Bundle. Copy. Alpha Pix. Copy. Seeking Alpha Premium. Copy. And Seeking Alpha Pro, which I have to get over here. Copy. And I thought I put it in here. Didn't I? Guess not. Let me see. Oh, I do have it. Delete. Okay. So I do have it. And then that. Upload file. I don't think this was an earth-shattering episode. It was a good episode, though. Daily podcast. There we go. It does have a paid promotion. Next. Monetization on. Next. Do submit rating. Next. Import from video. Yeah. Save. Next. Public. Publish. To the moon. And do there we go. Save. Next. Now Publish. Done. Woo-hoo. Oh, I guess I put the last episode, the S&P portfolio had the dude in the crown. Oh well, two of the same people. My hair is out of control. My hair is absolutely out of control. Processing. Okay, now I can copy, paste, do 12/29 podcast, the 2026 schedule starts today. And my take will do. And then I gotta go write this up. So I'm gonna go. You guys have a great day. Show exit is on. The two Larrys, thank you for joining. Alex, thank you for joining. Good morning, Sharon. T. Jassy, thank you for joining. Camillo, Cam, Space Hammer, I appreciate everyone joining. You guys have a great day. Remember, I am back live, but 2026 schedule is going to start. I have black headphones on, by the way. These are, what are these? Sennheiser? Yeah, Sennheiser. Sennheiser. They are wired headphones. So, I've got new headphones. They sound really good. I don't know if I sound that good, but they sound really... I probably sound better than I did live with the other microphone, the wireless microphones. But I have a Shure microphone over there, so I'm going to get set up for the new year. You guys have a great day. I will talk to you later this week, probably. Okay, see you, bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.